Hey guys, I've been getting a couple of requests lately on how I've been tying my flies with acetate floss. So I thought what I would do is give you a quick little tutorial, one on the floss itself and how it's used, and then two, show you a really quick pattern that I love to tie that works really well for me all over the Northeast, and it's especially killer up in the Catskills in New York. So to start, here's the material. This is acetate floss. I buy mine from the Danville Thread Company. Use just a couple of the colors that I have on hand. It comes in pretty much every color of the rainbow. And the way it works is it wraps on your fly just like regular floss, but then you give it a quick treatment of acetone, same acetone you find in the hardware store, Home Depot, any of those. And what that does is it actually melts down the floss a little bit, so it hardens the floss and it gives it a nice little translucent finish. I know a lot of tyers like to use materials like thin skin to mimic the exoskeletons of your nymphs, but I particularly have had more success with this, and I just personally like working with the material. So to start, I'm going to show you one of my really quick ties that has been one of my best producing flies, and it's called the Acetate Floss Caddis Pupa. So to start, I've got a size 12 curved nymph hook, tungsten bead, and I'm just going to use a 8/0 thread. And to start the fly, I'm just going to kind of secure in my thread just behind the bead. And then today I'm going to use Caddis green acetate floss. I'm going to cut off 2 strands. My general rule of thumb is if I'm tying any flies that are larger than, say, a size 12, I'll use 3 or 4 strands of floss. Anything smaller than a 14, I just use a singular strand. So I'm going to start off by just securing in my floss behind the bead at the front of the hook. I used to tie in the floss at the rear and just wrap forward, but I was finding that I wasn't getting a substantial enough fly body. So what I'm going to do is just wind it back to build up a bit of a body onto the fly. There we go. I'm just going to secure that down with my thread and wind back up. And here's the big trick. I had a lot more success last season when I started doing this. And I'm going to twist with my fingers to kind of form a singular strand of rope with the floss. I'm just going to wind this forward, tight against each other to make a nice segmented body. And anyone that's ever seen a natural caddis in the drift knows exactly what I'm trying to imitate here. Just a nice, tight segmented body. Should be good. I'm going to wrap this off. Alright, now I'm going to use peacock curls for my collar. One of the great features of this fly that I absolutely love is that they're very durable. So if you're fortunate enough to have your fly get chewed up in the jaws of some trout, just throw it back in the vise and you're just going to throw on a new collar, and you can really extend the life of that fly and get some more miles out of it. So I just secured 2 peacock curls. Just going to give it a nice little thorax here. Oh, hold on, I lost the peacock curl. Yeah. Break that off. Just retie these in. Here we go. And just build up a nice head to that fly. Okay, tie that off behind the bead. Couple of thread wraps, and I'm going to whip finish. And we are almost done. So this is a quick tie. It's great. You don't mind losing these flies too much. You can fill up your fly box in a night or two. You saw the different colors of floss that are available, so you can really get creative. Now to finish the fly. I used to dip my flies in the acetone, but what I found is that the floss melts pretty quickly. As you can see, I have pink acetone because I accidentally dropped a worm pattern in there, and within a matter of seconds it had dissolved fully. So this little trick I learned from Davey Watton, and that's to use a cheapo paintbrush, and then if you get fancy, you can get these at Michael's for about $3. I think it gets you about a dozen. And you're just going to treat that fly up. There you go. And I can actually see the top layer of that floss already starting to melt away, giving that nice little translucent body. And there you have it. The fly takes about 15-20 seconds to dry up. and then it's ready to hit the stream. Thanks for tuning in, and more to come.